Welcome to episode 101 of Rebirth Revolution. My name is Melissa Olson. Okay, we've made it through another wild week. There are so many disasters that it becomes hard to keep track. Hurricane Ida and uncontrolled fires have left a lot of devastation in their wakes. There is still so much insanity around COVID and the vaccines, which has us back up over 1,700 deaths a day in the United States. The Delta variant is taking hold in the places where people are anti-mask and anti-vax. There are threats of violence from elected officials based on lies they are telling. It's a mess. There is a concerted effort to threaten and intimidate people who serve on school boards and those who are involved in ensuring free and fair elections. I totally get why these people want to tap out, given that they are under threats of violence. But just think what will happen if the good people are driven out and our democracy is in the hands of the lunatics. There are many ways that our democracy can be attacked, and it appears that we are fighting on every front. Deep breathing, deep breathing. And now we have Texas putting a bounty on women's heads for the healthcare choices they make for their own bodies and their own lives. Any yahoo can make $10,000 by reporting an abortion after the 6-week mark, which is a misnomer in and of itself. If you are 6 weeks pregnant, you have only been pregnant for maybe 4 weeks. You may not even know that you are pregnant, let alone have the time to make any considered choice about the matter. Anyone who facilitates the abortion is also breaking the law. Of course, there is no negative outcome for the person who caused the pregnancy with their irresponsible ejaculation. If you haven't read the Twitter thread about abortion by Gabrielle Blair, I suggest you do so. It turns the entire topic on its head. So the Supreme Court, which is made up of people who were appointed by presidents who did not win the popular vote, thus not truly reflecting the beliefs of the majority, have decided, at least for now, to let this happen. And then there is Afghanistan. As we exit a 20-year war, we take a closer look at another country and how they operate. It has been our custom to look down on other countries that operate differently than our own. We are indoctrinated to do that. But upon closer examination, it is easy to see that every culture, everywhere on the planet, is simply inhabited by the same type of people who live everywhere else. While we may not be at war anywhere else in the world, we most definitely are at war within our own country. If the dark fascist elements prevail, the outcome will be every bit as bleak as if a foreign enemy had taken us over. There are those who are operating at the higher levels of spiritual awareness, and there are those who are still operating at the lower levels of spiritual awareness. The way they demonstrate their level is pretty much the same, no matter what country you're looking at. Those at the lower levels are obsessed with dividing and controlling people. You can call them the Taliban, or you can call them right-wing evangelical Christians and the lunatic fringe conspiracy theorists. Their objectives are the same. The only question is who has the power over others. In one case, the Taliban has the power, and in the other, the right-wing Christians want that level of power so they may do much of what the Taliban is inclined to do in their country. There is no real difference. As I said in episode 5, Operating at a low level means you are threatened by everyone who is not exactly like you. People who look, feel, and act in a different manner are perceived as inherently dangerous. Your self-value is so low that to accept someone who is different from you feels like you were saying that you are wrong, which is unbearable. I would suggest going back to episode 5 whenever you need a reminder of the differences between those at the lower levels of spiritual awareness and those at the higher levels. It is a useful lens through which to view what you see happening in the world right now. It is important to recognize these differences because giving power to those who are still in the lower levels can never turn out well. Not only will it wreak havoc, it will stall out our forward movement. As long as we give power to those at the lower levels of awareness, we will keep fighting these same battles over and over again. There was a time that we thought the whole Hitler thing was wrapped up and in the rearview mirror, but here we are again. We now see how easy it is to radicalize your citizens and turn them into people who are capable of monstrous actions. We are witnessing how easy it is for those at the lower levels to tap into the darkness that is in some and make them believe that it is their right to be that way, in fact convincing them that it is their highest calling. They are being convinced that they are doing something important and patriotic. I would imagine the Germans felt the same way. Every place you can be on this earth is inhabited by people who have all the same frailties and all the same lessons to learn. Every place on earth has a mixture of those at all the different levels of awareness. There are no differences in how it works because it is all in the same system. The only difference I can see is how much power people have to choose who makes the rules where they live, and how much the power structure reflects the people it is meant to represent. We have been smug about being a country with democracy, but here we are on the verge of having that wiped out by putting power in the wrong hands. We are not far from losing the ability to choose who represents us. And when that right is lost, the power structure will forevermore be flooded with those at the lowest levels of spiritual awareness, that place where there is no empathy, no integrity, no accountability. Not only will those in power behave in that manner, they will insist that you do as well. Those at the lower levels of spiritual awareness are enraged because they are being asked to behave as though people, other than themselves, matter as much as they do. That is unthinkable to them. They are enraged because they are being asked to consider the struggles of others, often at their own hand, and they don't feel that they should be held accountable. They are enraged because they are being asked to follow the established rules and laws. They think that they are entitled to all forms of lawlessness to achieve their ends. Those at the lower levels are being asked to grow out of their entitlement, their cruelty, and their need to oppress others. In their minds, those are the attributes that keep them in a perceived state of superiority over others. Of course, they are wrong about that. That is what keeps them trapped in the darkness. That is what holds them back from progressing to a state that will not only benefit others, it will benefit every single aspect of their lives as well. But they don't get that. Some fair-minded people have acted as if we can compromise on these issues. It is that both sides thinking. Let's be good people and accommodate what those at the lowest levels want. But none of this can be compromised. You cannot accommodate the belief that some people are of greater value than others. You cannot accommodate the belief that it is okay to create struggles for others. You cannot accommodate the lawlessness that those at the lower levels use to terrorize everyone else. You cannot make any of this okay, even in degrees. The accommodation of low-level thinking has been baked into our institutions, and that is ours to remedy. We cannot create a better world by allowing those who are still ruled by the darkness to dim the future for the rest of us. The requests we are making are for honesty, integrity, and empathy. These attributes are still a stretch for those who are at the lower levels, but they can get there. They can get there by being reshaped through accountability. Accountability is all that we've got. In the history of this planet, there have been many egregious choices made. When the time came that more people could see the error in those choices than those who did not see, it changed. The people who saw what was wrong demanded that people do better, and they did. We keep inching a little bit more into the light. We have the power to help other people see more and understand more. It's a wild time that we live in because we now have more access to information and wisdom than we have ever had before. Conversely, we also have darkness and disinformation spreading like wildfire. We live in a time when we can accelerate our own spiritual growth by taking in the experiences of others, widening our vision of what is and what can be. Before we finish our morning cup of coffee, we can absorb ideas that expand and change the game for our own personal growth. Likewise, those who are increasingly becoming ruled by the darkness are absorbing dangerous ideas before they finish their cup of coffee. They are taking it in and they are plotting. In trying to find our way, we must take into account that those at the lower levels of spiritual awareness will spend no time measuring the honesty, integrity, or empathy in any of their plans to drag us all back down to the lowest levels. They are not encumbered in the least by being concerned about what is right or what is wrong. They don't operate that way. The threats they make towards people's safety and the safety of our democracy are very real and must be dealt with as such. They will not do what is right because that is not yet something they are capable of. We must not compromise on the basic tenets of a civilized, forward-moving society. We can't move in half steps. We can't take their feelings into account because they are void of the types of feelings that motivate you, such as honesty, integrity, and empathy. These are dark and dangerous times. It is interesting to me that a common denominator between the Taliban and the radical right is that they want to control the masses in the name of religion. They feel that their respective countries should be formed around their religious beliefs, one religious belief. I know my history lessons growing up weren't the best, but I do remember something about one of our country's founding ideals. The First Amendment says, Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion. Organized religions try to explain how life and the spirit world work. These religions are headed by men who hold all the power. The men have always used it to determine who gets to exercise any level of power and self-determination. Since the beginning of time, they have rarely given any over to women or the marginalized. These men lay out how the followers must give their money, their time, and their free will over to those with the power. And because it is done in the name of religion, they are able to convince people that it is ordained by a higher power and is the morally right thing to do. Though it is ostensibly about the spirit world, it is not about being at a higher level of spiritual awareness, because it is all about amassing power and wealth while dodging accountability. Most organized religions would have you believe that you need them to have any sort of relationship with your Creator, which is hogwash. You don't need anyone's assistance to access the power of the Creator or those who are on your spiritual growth team. You do not need organized religion to get you where you want to go. But if you truly understood that, where would they get their power? Where would they get their influence? And where would they get all that money? If you truly understood that, how would they control you? And what do you pay for their intervention in addition to your money? You pay with the loss of your own free will. You pay with time lost on spiritual middlemen who want to trick you into believing that you would be nothing without them. You pay with a piece of your soul every time you let them convince you that your religion is right and everyone else on the planet is wrong and will burn in hell. You pay by allowing them to co-opt social progress with their backwards ideas that are rooted in racism and misogyny, leaving us in the dark and dangerous place we find ourselves in right now. How much more are you willing to pay? I'm glad you're back for another week of Rebirth Revolution. I know that it's really rough out there right now, and it's hard to juggle feelings of outrage and hopefulness. But the light you bring to the planet is essential to moving this all forward. Don't give up, if for no other reason than that those who are still mired in the darkness think and hope that you will. You can always let me know how you're doing by emailing rebirthrev@gmail.com. I'd love to hear from you. We can be found on all the podcast apps, with full episodes playing on YouTube and our Facebook page. It helps others find us when you rate and review the episodes. Thanks. Until next week, pray for the safety and well-being of our healthcare workers. Keep up the fight for everyone who is under the gun. Get vaccinated if you haven't already, and wear a mask. Find some peace and joy wherever and whenever you can. Remember, you are loved exactly as much as every other person on the planet, not 1 ounce more or 1 ounce less. Stay strong and safe and in touch with your own intuition.